guess his stock just went up, Golden Boy.
Hello, and welcome back to the Football Corner. Welcome back to another live stream, another show, another video on the channel. And today we are back with Gooner Lounge. Gooner Lounge back on the channel. I'm back with my guests. Listen, they've been here before, man. You already know them, but I will introduce them. But first, make sure you're smashing the like button. Firstly, make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well. Make sure you're hitting that like button. And listen, we're going to get into this. We're going to be speaking about breaking news, by the way. Breaking news. Fabio Vieira, injured. I mean, listen, I've been around for a long time. Yeah, I've been on this earth for 27 years. I still cannot wrap my head around how you start feeling discomfort and then all of a sudden end up on the surgical table, bro, and you're getting surgery. How does that even happen? I can't even comprehend how that happens. How do you start feeling discomfort? Am I gonna feel discomfort in my arm and then need to, like, you know what I mean? Need to have surgery on it or amputate it? Bro, this is crazy. Listen, we're gonna get into it. Fabio Vieira looks like he's injured. He's gonna be out. But big up to everybody already in here. Big up to Vel. Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. He's such a fraud. He's actually such a fraud to the highest degree. Vel, you're a fraud, innit? You're a fraud. And this guy said, I have that Bergkamp book at home. What are you doing with that Bergkamp book? Are you trying to learn about real heritage? Actually, I can't even say that to you. You're a Liverpool fan. You know what I mean? Sorry, my bad. I thought I was talking to a City fan, you know what I mean? Or a Chelsea fan. The ones without real heritage, or even a Tottenham fan, you know, no heritage in their club, no heritage. Big up Waffles in the building, big up. And yeah, listen, smash that like button, man. We're gonna get into this, man. It's gonna be a mad one. We're gonna be speaking about Osimhen as well, Ivan Toney, Douglas Luiz, all linked to the club, due to come in January and in the summer. We'll see what goes on there, and we'll also be doing a preview for the Lens game tomorrow, which, by the way, listen, I am going to that game, so there will be no watch along tomorrow, but because I will be at that game, at the Lens game tomorrow. So big up to everybody in the building, and let me bring on the guests. Let me start off with the man himself, my Maghrebi brother, yeah, Khoya Mlbled. You know what I mean? For all the Moroccans that are here, all the Moroccans that watch, they already know what that means. That means my brother from the motherland, man. You know? Let me bring him on. It's none other than Mr. Ashraf. Ashraf! كده لاباس
لاباس الحمد لله كل شيء بخير.
لاباس الحمد لله.
How you doing?
We better speak in English, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
We'll have like Shaw and MDL and all join up and like, what the hell are these guys saying, bro? Are they cursing in a foreign language or something?
100%. How you doing, my bro? You good?
All good, bro. Excited for tomorrow's game. It's nice, man. Having no international break for a long time is like every couple of days is some good game to look forward to. So
don't worry, January, man. We've only got a month. It's a lot of games,
yeah,
but we've only got a month because January, it's there, man. It's there. You know.
No, it's not in January. The next international break is March. No,
there's an international break between January something, and then we don't have a game until January 20th.
I don't think that's an international. Oh, it's the AFCON.
Oh yes, it might be the AFCON.
Yeah. Because international break is next March, 100%. I'm sure of that. It's I think it's end of March or something like that.
But So do we say, you know what? Hold on, let me bring in the guest. Let me bring in the guest.
Yeah.
Next on the channel. Next on the channel is none other than Giuseppe Caprizio Italiano. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to do that, bro. I got that. You know, I got that from The Godfather. Yeah, The Godfather. You know about that? Corleone, Don Corleone. You know what I mean? One of them ones. Them type of vibes that we're dealing with right now. It's none other than Mr. Giuseppe in the building. Giuseppe, how you doing, my bro? Hey, I love it, man. I love
Molto bella.
it.
Oh, mate, yeah. Thanks for having me back on the channel. Come on, Gooner Lounge, as always, talk some football. Yeah, man. Listen. By the way, that break, that's a FA Cup in there as well. It hasn't been announced yet. It hasn't been drawn yet. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Because I was looking at that myself, thinking, like, bro, why haven't we got a game for like 2.5 weeks?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, let's talk some football, man.
No, 100%, bro.
Take it away,
100%. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. And last but not least, he's there for every single halftime show, man. Every single one, he's there. Yeah, and he comes from Netherlands. Yeah, he's there from Netherlands. He's also Turkish, but he comes from the Netherlands, or he lives in the Netherlands, where one of my favorite players comes from. Yeah, none other than Jurien Timber. You know, one of my favorite players who I cannot wait to see come back. By the way,
I thought you were going to
it's
say
not.
Bergkamp.
No. Bergkamp is instilled in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, but I'm talking about current players right now. My favorite players. Bergkamp will always hold a special place in my heart. Same with Henry. You know what I mean? Same with Vieira. You know. But it's none other than Mr. TKA. Cheese, T.
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good. T, how you doing? Big up.
Alhamdulillah. I'm ready to talk football. I'm ready to talk delusion.
Mate.
I'm ready to be shameless. I'm here, bro.
You know what?
Like always.
Bro, we are going to be speaking football, but let me just get through these comments, man, because Vel has been chatting a madness, yeah? So he said, it's actually a good book, not going to lie. Yes, it is. I read it. Very good. He said, respect Vel, Blue Moon, big up Blue Moon in the building, man. Said, respect Vel before he starts edits of you. Listen, by the time I done my intro and I invited the guests on, Vel has already edited 2 pictures of me getting like super slammed, RKO'd or something. Yeah. Okay. Something's happening. 619. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's already happened. And then look, he says, "See, Blue Moon knows." Vel is a joker. Waffles came out and said, "Do United fans really think they'll sign Osimhen? These guys are clowns. Respectfully, they are clowns. If they think they're gonna go and sign Osimhen, why are you gonna go sign Osimhen when you just got what's his name, Højlund? Why? It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense in the slightest." He said, "Don't worry, I'll translate for you, chat for the chat." He doesn't even know what we were saying. You know what? Yeah, he does not even know a word. I guarantee you that now. And then he said, "Get Sard." Listen. Big up to Vel. He's a fraud because the second part of the comment is fraudulent. But he said, "Get Sard to 1K so you can send him super chats and I can rob him." There you go. You see, fraud. Absolute fraud. Now, big up yourself, Vel. You know, we always appreciate your edits, man. You're a top guy, man. Top guy. But getting on to business, I think the first place we should go is what I was speaking about first, which is Fabio Vieira is out. He's out for weeks, is what we're being told. There's so many times where I've just heard out for weeks. What does out for weeks even mean? Does that mean they don't want to specify the time frame that he's going to be out for? He's out for weeks. Ben White could be available for tomorrow. Which actually the Ben White will save that because we'll save that for the actual preview. But Fabio Vieira out. What are you lot's thoughts on it, man? I'm pissed.
Giuseppe, you're on mute. You're on mute, Giuseppe.
Have I been on mute the whole time?
I think so.
No. Just
okay,
now.
you
Like
heard
when you spoke
yeah.
now. Yeah,
Oh,
we heard
yeah,
it,
no.
Bella and all that. We heard it.
Yeah, we heard that, bro. Yeah.
I go, yeah. Yeah, listen, I think it's always annoying when it comes out the blue and it's like from training and stuff, and you're hearing a discomfort turn into a surgery. I think like it's hard to for us to understand that, because like these men have like stupid amounts of money, right? So I think it's something like they do they do like the tests and that and all that on his leg and all the x-rays and all that sort of stuff, MRIs, and they probably see something and said, listen, if we deal with it now, you're going to be out for 5 weeks, but if you don't get this done, it could be worse, and then you could be out for like 5 months or something. So they just get it done and get it out of the way. So I think that's how it kind of works. But listen, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, because like Fabio Vieira ain't like the be-all end-all of Arsenal, or it's not like losing William Saliba. No disrespect. Listen, I don't like losing any player.
Yeah.
But it's but when you're hearing like Spurs have lost Bentancur for 10 weeks now, after the Villa game, it's just like it could be worse. But listen, Fabio Vieira, obviously the last time he played as well, he got a red. So now I don't know what this means. Does that mean his red card the next 2 games, even though he's not eligible technically? Will that count on his red card? I'm not too sure. But if it don't, then I wouldn't have said he was injured. If I was Arsenal, I would have just lied and said he was available for the next 2 games and then come out with the injury. So, but for me, it's a sad one, because definitely these Champions League nights, I think they kind of suit Fabio Vieira's style and that for us. So that's where he can get minutes and get some game time. So for me, yeah, it's a bit disappointing, and hopefully he can get back soon and he can get back a bit stronger. And kick on.
Nah, 100%. Ashraf, what are your thoughts on it, man? It's crazy,
same.
man.
Look, I mean, we already have a midfield issue. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Vieira is the solution or the savior or something. But
are you sure?
but I'd rather have as many options as we can have versus
100%.
not have any. Because right now, Partey is out, Smith Rowe is out, and Vieira has had, like, as much as I've criticized him many times in the past, but this season he has had good impact coming off the bench in 2 or 3 games. So it definitely doesn't hurt. And we have like a very good bench that comes off and makes big impacts in games. And he definitely could be one of these players. I don't know. Like, I agree with you. Every time they come out and say it's a couple of weeks, it's very, very skeptic, because sometimes it turns out to be months. You remember last year with Saliba, they initially came out and said a couple of weeks, or they were saying unspecified.
Don't even remind me.
And then suddenly it went throughout the whole season. But the inverse, though, is that they did the same thing with Gabriel this season, and Gabriel came back a lot quicker than a lot of people expected. So I don't know. If he's having surgery, I guess he's going to be out for at least 2-3 months, if not more. It is a loss, as I said, because we do need the squad depth. But it sounds so bad on me saying this, but if it was to happen to any of our players, like, he's one of the players who I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want any of our players to get injured, even if it's someone I don't believe in. I don't think Kai Havertz. I don't rate Kai Havertz at all, but I don't want him to get injured, because we need every single person. But like, better Vieira than Declan Rice. So I just hope like he can recover quickly and come back. And it's a headache now for Arteta, because one thing is, he hasn't, since Partey got injured, he hasn't settled on that midfield. He's tried Jorginho, Declan Rice. He's tried Declan Rice, Vieira. He's tried Declan Rice, Kai Havertz. He's done so many different combinations. Last game, he went with what Saad mentioned, obviously, and played Trossard with Odegaard and Rice. So he's tried so many different combinations. I don't think he's doing it because he's trying to like give everyone a chance. I think he's doing it because he's not satisfied with any of the midfield combinations. And he hasn't like settled on anyone yet. So I don't know, man. It's obviously going to be an impact, but hopefully January we can address this.
Yeah. T, anything to say or...
Nah, not really. You guys filled in everything that wanted to say. I just wanted to say from my side, I don't really care. I don't rate him anyway. He's one of those guys that if he starts, I get disappointed. When he comes off the bench, I get nothing. So I don't mind.
Harsh.
No, I'm not one of those.
He's just real, bro.
Yeah, I'm just real, bro.
He's just real. That's why I got a lot of respect for T, bro, because he's just he's real. He'll just say, I don't give a fuck about this guy. I'll be so real.
You can see where Erik Ten Hag gets it from, you know? It's from our culture. We just say what we think. We don't care. But yeah, I really don't. I really don't. I wouldn't miss him. I didn't miss him when he was when he got the red card. So yeah, I really don't care.
Nah, like listen. I mean, to be honest, that's definitely an opinion. In regards to the suspension, which I believe we were talking about, the suspension. Val actually cleared it up. He said, "Don't worry, you could be injured and still serve the suspension at the same time." Iago Aspas got injured in a game, but took his shirt off. Took his shirt off to get a yellow, as he was one away from suspension. Yeah, so he will be serving his suspension while he is injured, so he should come back straight away. But I think getting onto the bigger topic of discussion is all of these rumors, man. All of these transfer rumors coming out. This player, that player, Osimhen. I'm hearing Toney. I'm hearing Douglas Luiz. Even my uncle was mentioned in there. He's linked to striker. You know what I mean? And big old Abdul Rashid, he's gonna be our striker. So who knows, bro? We're in for it, man. We're in for it, bro. There's too many strikers linked to our club. The real question is, who do you guys prefer at striker? Who is your preference to come in? Because we're linked left, right, and center to me. And if that, who would you rather get, the striker or focus on the midfield? Those are the two questions. So two questions are: would you rather focus on a striker or midfielder for this January? And if so, who is your go-to person to get?
For me, if it's a choice between the two, 100% midfield, 100%, because I still feel that when we have everyone fit, we do have options like Kai Havertz, who's good in the air, Jesus, Saka and Martinelli, I think is a good front three. Trossard, whenever he's filled in like up front with Saka and Martinelli, has done well. I know we don't rate this guy that much, but like Nketiah has done well in certain games. I don't think he's a solution. I don't think he's a solution for a long period, like 3-4 months, but like maybe for 1 or 2 games, I think he can do something against some of the smaller teams. I still think we need a striker in an ideal world. If we could get both, amazing. But if we had to prioritize one, we don't have a single box-to-box midfielder in our team. Not one. We have makeshift players who can play box-to-box if needed, like Declan Rice has done this season like 7 or 8 times. But no one who is a proper box-to-box. And I think that for us, that's extremely crucial. Now, to get to your question about if we were to get a striker who I would prefer, I've already told you this before, like my preference, if I had to like ignore money and just say pick any name out there in the market who could be available, it's Osimhen 100%, because it's a different profile of striker. If we do get a striker, I don't want us to get a similar profile to Jesus and Trossard. Players who are good at like dropping deep, holding onto the ball, dribbling. I want someone who's like a Giroud kind of version, you know, like someone who just wants to be in the box, be at the end of crosses, a different kind of profile to what we have in Jesus and Nketiah and Trossard. Someone big and strong who can compete in the air as well. So like as obviously Shaw mentioned, like Vlahovic is obviously a shout. I hear that. Osimhen for me is definitely my number 1 preference. I do hear Toney shouts. You know what I feel about Toney. I feel he's a bit overhyped, but that's a conversation for a different
fraud.
day.
You're a fraud. You're a fraud.
I know Saad is gonna jump on that. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel it's a bit overhyped. But look, I would take him 100% because it's still a bit different of a profile to what we have. So if we had to get a striker, these would be my options. Knowing Arsenal, though, we probably will not go for any of these options. We'll go for some striker playing in La Liga or Liga that not a lot of people have heard of. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like I wouldn't be that opposed to it either. A lot of the signings that Arteta and Edu have made have actually, like, especially I'm talking about big transfers, like 30 million plus. A lot of them have actually banked for us. You know, like a lot of these signings that are 20 million, not even 30 million plus, except for Vieira and Havertz. I can't think of another player that flopped. Like that's 20 million plus. I mean, Tomiyasu, in my opinion, has done well. Ben White has done well. Saliba was before. Ramsdale, I know he's obviously out of favor now, but for 2 seasons he did well for us. Obviously, Odegaard, a big impact. So I would trust their profiles if they ended up getting someone that they have scouted for a long time, as long as it's not someone that's a stopgap or someone that's like desperate. Because you know how sometimes we made, you guys remember the Kim Kallstrom signing? You could tell that was a
Oh my
desperate
God.
signing. We
What,
didn't
the
do
guy
any
came
proper
in? What, the guy with the Brock up back?
Yeah, exactly. You could tell we
Pause.
didn't do any scouting, no proper research, nothing. It was just like, we need a midfielder. This guy, Kim Kallstrom, looks okay. Get him in. And it was one of the
Stinks.
worst signings we've made, bro. So
That
as long as
stinks,
we don't,
bro.
yeah, as long as we don't do a signing like that, bro. Sure, I'm just gonna say this before I let the other guys go. If we get Frankie De Jong and Osimhen, I'm telling you, we're favorites for the league for the next 3-4 seasons, right? If we get these two, it's it's not gonna happen. But like, someone can dream. Like, those two are a different level, man.
Bro, do you know what hurts? Yeah, just before I let you go, Giuseppe or T, whoever wanted to go next. Do you know what hurts? Yeah, is that I saw a post. I was scrambling to find the post, bro. I was scrambling to find the post. Yeah, in the summer, do you know who we were looking at to get the board and Edu wanted to get? Yeah, you talk about names like Goretzka. You talk about names like Nicola Barella. You talk about names like Douglas Luiz. You talk about good players, yeah, Kudus. Yeah. But instead, they went with Mikel Arteta's choice. Who was Mikel Arteta's choice? Kai Havertz, bro. They went with Kai Havertz because it was Mikel Arteta's choice. We are looking at all of these players. Any one of them right now, I'm praying for. I have my hands up like that, man. I'm praying for any of these players. We were looking at them and we decided to get Kai Havertz. What is this, man? This is blasphemy. What's going on, man?
I didn't even know that, but now that you told me, I'm sick.
Bro, it's crazy. I want to throw up, man. I want to throw up.
Listen,
yeah.
At the end of the day, I think that the January transfer is very important. We all know that. We can all agree that. The Havertz thing, listen, I'm still, you know me, I hold judgment on that. I see players going to City's team and they don't look all that the first season, a year under Pep. They come out of their shell and they're amazing. We see the first season, Ben White, a lot of people counted him out. The next season he comes out and has a top season. So listen, I'll give Havertz a little bit more time and see if Arteta can like rub his magic and get a player out of him. But like, listen, I think the thing is, I feel like Arteta, the links that we have, the Douglas Luiz and stuff, that is Arteta, you know, because it's not just an all of a sudden transfer. We actually bid on him. If you remember last January, we actually bid on him. So it shows that the manager wanted him, the team wanted him. So that link there is fine. Back to your question of who would I rather, a striker or a number 8? And it's really hard. Like, I want to be sitting on the fence. I don't know, man. I don't know, because like there's certain times I'm like, we really need that 8. But then I watched that game against Brentford and I'm like, the midfield was fine in that game. The problem was we didn't have a guy to put it in the back of the net. We didn't have that vocal person up top to put it away for us. That's why it went so late. We had the opportunities. We were getting the ball forward and putting them in the box, but it was just like, it weren't getting converted. So that makes me think that maybe a striker is the right choice. At the end of the day, the striker wise, it's the level and the if you're going to get a striker that you can guarantee me from January to the end of the season can get 15 plus goals, then I'm picking a striker hands down. But the fact of the matter is you can never guarantee that, right? Striker wise, who I'd like, listen, I say Toney all the time because I think Toney's realistic. Osimhen, if I had to say I could pick anyone of like actual link wise, it would probably be Osimhen. But I've sort of convinced myself that we won't ever pay the money for him, so we won't get him because teams like Chelsea and that want him, and they'll be willing to pay the 120s and stuff like that. I just don't see Arsenal paying. So for that reason, I stick with Toney. But listen, I think if we signed, say a striker and a number 8, like Douglas Luiz and a striker in January, I think we can compete for the league this year. I've said that. All these other links to these strikers, it's a bit like it's the Arsenal. It's hard for Arsenal fans, right? Because we can never know what to actually believe and what not to believe in these transfer rumors because they know Arsenal fans bite. Like, I don't care what anyone says. These newspapers, these media sources, they know that Arsenal fans bite, and they bite onto anything, and they'll be retweeting and they'll be talking about it no matter what little link there is. So I think they like pumping fake news out as well within the actual news. Like, you know how we'll always link to Benzema and Higuain and these players, like every January, every summer, it's like we're linked to them. So listen, we'll have to wait and see what they do in January. We know they have to do business. Like, it's as simple as that. We know that. I think Arteta knows that. You're right with the number 8 situation of us not having like a midfield where we can rely on. I think if Thomas Partey goes, I do think if Thomas Partey does go on loan in January, then I think that the number 8 does have to be our priority, just because we're losing another midfielder. You know, so yeah, for me, I'd probably prioritize personally the striker, but that's because I miss us having a proper striker. So that's my bias. That might not be what's best for the team. So I believe the manager will know what's best for the team, and I actually trust. I still have trust in Arteta. So yeah, what he goes for, I'll agree with, as long as it ain't no stupid signing, because January ain't the time to make a signing where it's like, oh, it could be, you know, like the Havertz ones in summer is a bit more excusable than if we come to this January, we needed an impact straight away and he signs Havertz. Then it's like, why are you doing that in January? You know, that's a summer signing sort of thing. So yeah, listen, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
You know, my only concern, like I would have 100% pushed for a striker and said that should be the priority if I trusted that Thomas Partey will be fit for the rest of the season. Maybe this is reactionary from me. I don't know. I don't trust this guy to play more than 3 games in a row now. I don't know why. Like, it's crazy. Like, last season he played like 32 or 33 Premier League games. So if you just go by last season, I should be thinking that, it's just a little setback and he'll come back quite soon. But I don't know, man. Like, I just don't trust this guy to be fit. But if he can stay fit, yeah, 100% striker's a priority for me.
We could always bring back Sambi Lokonga.
No, chill out. Let's chill out. Let's chill out. Someone drug test him. You know what I mean?
He's another one that Arteta signed though that weren't great.
Wow.
No, just to add,
but that was a cheaper sign, no? It wasn't. It was less than 20 million, I think.
Lokonga was 17.5.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just to add my 2 cents, I think Arteta needs to be really, really careful with who he picks personally, because he in his career purchased 29 players, 25 of them were with a fee. So I just want him to be really, really careful with who he picks, because most of those transfers didn't work out. I am split between the opinion of Giuseppe. Nice to meet you, by the way, Giuseppe. First time together.
Oh yes, big up. I forgot to introduce you guys.
No problem. I'm also split between the opinion of Ashraf, because I really, really rate Osimhen, but the part of Osimhen is it would be a risk because we don't know. It's not a proven product in the Premier League. How will he do in the Premier League? Will he slot in immediately? Will he take time to adjust? You know, I don't know. But also with Toney, because I would like a Toney as well. But I would take a Toney if we get a midfielder as well. And you say how? We cannot do that because we don't have any money. Remember the Ruben Neves rumor where they said they wanted to look at loaning him, and then maybe so they can preserve the money for a striker also in January. I think that would be the smartest move Arsenal can do. Not specifically Neves and Toney, but loan a midfielder or a striker and then fill the other spot with a big signing. In this case, I would the part of the Toney deal, which is also a little bit could be positive, is we can throw in Eddie Nketiah as well, because Brentford would play him, you know. So I'm split between both because I like both players, but talent-wise, I rate Osimhen, of course. That's the bigger talent in my eyes. That's a really good player, but not proven in the Premier League. And Toney, if we get Toney, I would like to get him really cheap. I would not, because I know Arsenal. If they buy a player, they put all their stonks in him, and what happens? We get stuck with him, even when he's bad, you know. So I want them to really think about this position, because strikers we don't buy every day or every transfer window. So yeah, I'm split. I don't know. I would like both, but if I need to pick one, I would pick Toney and a midfielder in January. But if we include the summer, I would do Osimhen and then buy a midfielder now in January and not a striker, and wait for the summer to buy Osimhen. Because I don't think Chelsea could buy him in January. I don't think Napoli are that easy to let him go, especially in January.
You know, for me, I'm going at it like this. Yeah, I think we need a midfielder, but here's something to think about. Yeah, during Timber comes back, we play him in the 6. We play him as a DM. Yeah, he comes back. We play him as a DM. I think he can play that Thomas Partey role. I think he can play that Thomas Partey role. His passing is good. He's shown from the preseason that he can progress the ball well, and he can kind of break lines. Kind of. I don't think that's a bad idea. The only thing is he's coming straight off an injury. That's a lot of pressure to put on him. Yeah, but I think even getting a midfielder right now, we need that left 8. Apparently we're looking for a 6. That's apparently what we're looking for. That's what I've been told, that we're looking for a 6. There's also oh my god, Shah has just said it. There's also Timber's brother, who is a centre mid. What are thoughts on that?
I think Shaw meant like swap them since they look alike, and just pretend that Quentin Timber is Julian Timber, and say, hey,
They look well alike.
this is the one.
They actually look so much alike, where I see a picture and it was like, should we sign him? And I'm thinking, like, what's going on? Like, why
they do, yeah.
Should we sign Timber? And then I see it was his brother. I was like, oh shit. But you know what you're saying about the Timber thing? There's 2 things about that. One, I don't think he'll be back this season personally. The second thing is about that is like you're saying it like it's that easy, in the sense of like, we've got Zinchenko that can play the midfield role, and he don't get the sniff there. And he wants to. He actively is a player that plays there for his country and says, I'd love to be a midfielder. So if we've got him there and Arteta's not doing it, I don't think he'd do it with Timber. So listen, I think as well, just going back to the point about Osimhen in the summer, I think that's a great shout. Like, I think that, as you said, the striker needs to be an important signing. Like, it needs to be the one where when you're getting this guy, he's going to be our striker for the next 4 or 5 years, right? That's how you got to look at it when we're signing the striker.
Exactly.
Midfielders, it's a bit more. You can sign a Douglas Luiz and then buy a De Jong and have Douglas Luiz on the bench as a third choice in there with Rice and that. You know what I mean? So, listen, I think at the end of the day, I'd also go for in the summer, what's the best level of player that is actively available for us to get? Like, if you know what I mean by that, in the sense of, if we can get Douglas Luiz, and that's the most of our money, but he's available, but Toney and Osimhen ain't really available, so we'd have to go for a third choice striker, then I'm 100% saying get the midfielder. Same vice versa. If we can get Toney or Osimhen for a good price in January, and then midfield options, we're going to have to go for our third choice option because the first 2 ain't available, then I'll go for the striker.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on that bit. So
whatever we do, I hope we don't sign Douglas Luiz.
Why
I
not?
like him, man.
I like
Why?
Douglas Luiz.
Because the price they ask for him is way too much for the player that we get, basically. And I swear, ever since the beginning of the season, I've been watching Aston Villa because of Emery, because I low-key rate Emery in a way, but he's not that special, bro. And I swear, if we play Rice at the 6, where do we play him? I don't think he's that great as a box-to-box. Not for that money, especially. You know, I don't think he's that player that we need. I think we need a higher profile of a player. I think this guy would be a passenger eventually.
Well,
he's not that
I've always said you need to go for world-class players.
The thing is, in January,
we need to.
in January, it's hard to go for world-class players because they're so important to their teams, and it's like their team don't want to let a world-class player go. It's like it's a hard one. But the thing is with Douglas Luiz, listen, he'll come in. If we sign Douglas Luiz, he's the 6. Yeah, he'll be the 6, and Rice will be the 8, and then they'll and they're both intelligent enough to rotate within game as well. Like if Douglas Luiz finds himself there, Rice will stay back. The thing is, Douglas Luiz, he's just I think he's a workhorse sort of player. He's like a Xhaka when in the sense of maybe not going forward, but like I feel like a lot of his stuff don't go noticed when you watch. Like he's like Rice. A lot of people, if you don't watch Rice in detail, you think you won't really see him in the game, and it's because he's just doing everything right and he's doing stuff before the problems are caused, etc. And the thing with Douglas Luiz that I think he adds to our team that's very, very important that we need is his set pieces, man. Like I know that's not the thing, but if you can get a player that can fit into your team solidly and bring you set pieces, because we haven't got that. You see the goal against Spurs in the last minute, the thing that's a perfect ball from quite far out, and we don't really have players that are doing that. Even his corners, he scored a corner against us, if you remember. We all say there was a foul on Ramsdale, but he's, you know what I mean, his corners are phenomenal. And this is another thing, I'm watching our corners every week and they're just not there. Like they just like, I don't know, like sometimes I'm watching them like, these guys, how many corners do they take in training? And then when it comes to match day, they can't take corners. But yeah, man. So I'd happily take Douglas Luiz in January, personally.
Yeah, I think especially for this season of when we're trying to challenge, I think he would come in and slot in well. And the thing is, look, I like what T suggested about getting one on loan and spending like and going big on the other one. And I think that'll probably have to be a striker that we get on loan, because if you look at the striker market, like I don't think the striker market is that great. Like I think there are decent strikers, but not the kind of strikers you'd be able to pry away from their clubs in Jan unless you put in big money, which we're not going to do, right? Whereas with midfielders, you have a lot more options, and some of them are players that I think you can convince to join you. You've got like obviously Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, Douglas Luiz. I know it's kind of a bit too pricey, but maybe if we are able to put in that money. I don't know if you guys have watched like any Leverkusen games this season, but Palacios is incredible. Palacios of Bayer Leverkusen, he's been having an incredible season. There are options 100% like with midfield. Like even if you go to Liga and stuff, you'll find good midfield options, and I think we can get, if we spend decent money, like 40, 50, 60 million in Jan.
I want to put this past you. I was just speaking to my mate the other day, quickly, boys. Aston Villa, we go for Douglas Luiz, yeah. They might not want to let a midfielder go in January and that. Who's a player that they've really been interested in at Arsenal over the past few seasons?
Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe. Would you put him in there and say
I'm not even going to let you finish that sentence. Don't ever say that. No.
I think he likes Smith Rowe, that's why. Look, honestly,
I echo that as well. I echo that, bro. Please.
I'm not saying I would, by the way. I'm not saying I would.
Smith Rowe is star boy number 2. No, Smith Rowe is star boy number 2. Yeah, there's a reason why we sing Saka and Emil Smith Rowe. Yeah.
Yes.
Because when I was trying to gather up mere funds, bro. Yeah. When I was counting pennies, bro, and I could barely afford wins. Saka and Smith Rowe were there, dragging me up from the scruff of my neck, bro. They were like, "Get up, man! Come on, we can do this. We'll help you. We'll help you rise to a better place."
The games when we're dead. The games when we're dead, you get a solo from ESR. He scores out of nothing, you know.
Oh my God!
I never forgot those days.
He was amazing 2 seasons ago. But can I ask you guys a question? If right now, assuming money's not a problem, so just ignore the money aspect, ignore the salary, ignore the transfer fee. If we could swap Martinelli for Mbappe right now, how many of you guys would say no to that?
Yeah, that's different.
So my point is, Martinelli's my favorite Arsenal player right now. It was Thomas Partey, but then his serious injuries just made me like Martinelli a lot more. And I would swap Martinelli in a heartbeat for Mbappe because it means it's better for the club. We can't like stick to loyalty, because I agree with Smith Rowe. I love Smith Rowe, the number 10, Hayland and all that kind of stuff, even though he was a Chelsea boy initially. But anyways, my point is, we don't. Okay, fair enough. And Nketiah as well. But my point is, yes, 2 seasons ago he was incredible. He was coming off the bench and having an impact. He was incredible on the left. He was really good as a 10. He was the kind of player that we thought will grow up to be a big superstar. But the fact is, he's had so many not so many, but he has had 3 or 4 different injuries over the last year and a half, and I see this being another Wilshere situation.
I was
right?
literally going to say the same thing.
Exactly, and the longer you persevere with this, the more you end up losing money. And look, with Wilshere, we didn't make any sort of money. Like, I think when we sold him to, was it Bournemouth or West Ham that we sold him to? I can't remember, because he went to both.
I think
one
we
on
let him
loan
go
and
for
one
free.
You know what I've got to say to you about that, yeah? There you are. There you fucking are. I was waiting for one of you scumbags to drop the name Wilshere. Oh, here we go. It's going to be another Wilshere situation.
Yeah, but Wilshere was a
No,
bigger
it's
talent
not.
than Smith Rowe.
No, it's not. Listen.
Sad, that's your loyalty to Smith Rowe. That's
23 years old right now, yeah? 23 years old, bro. Bro, he's still so young, yeah? And he's coming into the moment where we're going to be good. Imagine he gets past this little injury problem that he had, yeah? And then he comes back for us latter end of the season, yeah? And he starts playing left 8 for us. And he's working with another left 8. And he starts to gather up momentum. And then all of a sudden, bro, Champions League final, bro, he scores the goal.
Stop it!
Listen, bro.
Let me ask you something.
And then Sad wakes up.
No, hold on. Champions League final at Wembley, he scores the goal to win us the final, bro.
Let me say this. Let me say this though. Can I want to ask you something then, Sad. So Inter Milan call up Arteta and says they'll do a straight swap Smith Rowe for Barella. What you doing?
You're actually such a scumbag. He's a scumbag exactly. Because he knows I want Barella so badly, bro.
Yeah, so let's test that loyalty. Come on.
I'm willing to give anything for Barella except for my star boy Smith Rowe, bro. So they ain't getting Smith Rowe. Are you mad? I believe, bro. Do you know how many stocks, bro? I'm leading stock holder for this guy, bro. Yeah, I'm like the guy that created Bitcoin, bro. Yeah, you know how he had 25 million Bitcoin for himself. Well, I think it was 25 million, and he had 10 million Bitcoin for himself, and he let out the rest on the internet, bro. That's how I'm with these Emil Smith Rowe stocks, bro.
But you know,
I agree. I wouldn't sell if I would sell him. I wouldn't sell him to a Premier League team. I would sell him to what you say, an Inter Milan or something, because we won't see him ever again. Basically, I don't want to play against him because he would cook us.
Buyback clause.
You guys realize, like, Arteta clearly doesn't fancy him because he got Kai Havertz and he's played Kai Havertz there before he played him. He's played Vieira there before he played him. Like, and the thing is, I think Smith Rowe's best position is the 10. Right, which we know he's never going to displace Odegaard like in that position. It's not going to happen. Like, Odegaard is clearly the manager's favorite and the captain of the club as well. So I just feel like if we have an opportunity to sell him and get 30 million or so, I would rather take that versus wait longer and end up releasing him like we did with Pepe or something.
It's funny you say that, Ashraf. It's funny you say that because when we just loaned Odegaard, I was pissed because we dropped ESR for him. I was screaming at the telly to put in ESR for Odegaard. Until this day, I still rate the Inform ESR over Odegaard, to be honest.
Do you rate the Inform ESR from 2 seasons ago over Odegaard from last season? Odegaard last season was being compared to KDB and Bruno Fernandes and stuff.
Yes,
come on,
but who did that? Our fans did that. And our fans are one of the most shameless fans. Let's be real, man. Come on.
No, one sec. You know why it's not our fans? Because when they did the interview with KDB, when Sky Sports did the interview with KDB, and they told him rate these 3 midfielders, Sky Sports put Maddison, Bruno Fernandes, and Odegaard. So even like the media was recognizing, guys, this guy has the Odegaard last season scored the most goals, the most non-penalty goals for a midfielder in a Premier League season, 15. Plus he had like 6 or 7 assists to go with it as well. Last season he was phenomenal. He was unplayable. Right, he was, I think, a player of our season, player of the season. He's definitely better than Odegaard. Like,
I think if ESR got the same chance and the same love from Arteta, he would do the same.
Listen, I love Smith Rowe. For me, I love Smith Rowe, but I'll be honest, I don't think Smith Rowe will ever be as good as Odegaard, and that's just because I believe Odegaard naturally has the vision that like he just does. He has something that you don't get picked up at 14 years old or whatever it was, 13 years old by Real Madrid. For no reason, you know. I'm not saying that as a thing of saying he's better than Smith Rowe.
His
But,
dad
like,
was with the hierarchy, man.
Listen.
He did nothing
yeah.
though. He
He's-
did
he's-
nothing though. He was a
Yeah, but
reject
he never
everywhere.
he never got the chance there. But like, regardless of that, Smith Rowe had a great season 2 years ago, and I love Smith Rowe, and I wouldn't get rid of him. And I think he's got a future at this club if he can stay injury free and that. But I just think the mentality of Odegaard, and for me, like, he's just the better player. But at the end of so you would sell if someone come now and said you had to sell one of them, Smith Rowe or Odegaard, you're picking to sell Odegaard.
No.
Well, because availability is the best ability, and ESR is not as available as Odegaard. And
why are we
I agree,
talking
and I agree with most of the things, because I think Odegaard is a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see Odegaard do the things that ESR did, like getting past players, scoring goals like that, like how ESR did that. Odegaard is silk and smooth, but he is not a. I don't know. I'd rather have a total package. Is that
But you know,
the
T,
right word?
I can reverse that on you, T, and tell you that we have a lot of players that can do what ESR does, like running at players, going past 1 or 2 and stuff. But we don't have anyone that can do what Odegaard does. I'm talking about Odegaard from last season. This season, he's been
That is true, yeah.
We don't have anyone in the team that can create the way Odegaard does. That can even his shots from outside the box are decent when he actually attempts them. He doesn't attempt them enough for me.
Yeah, I'm just really biased. I'm sorry. I really want him to be our number 10.
I hear you.
Hear you, nah.
I don't
Listen,
see it lasting.
Let's stop dragging on our players though and say sell this guy, sell that guy.
Exactly. Why do we have to sell players? Why do we have to sell players?
No, we don't.
Yeah?
We shouldn't sell any players.
You lot are giving me these crazy ultimatums just so I can make a decision.
No, but guys, by the way, like,
Listen,
realistically, to buy players, actually, we are in a position where we have to sell. By the way, like, we cannot afford to spend 100 million unless we sell like 30 or 40 million or something like that. So not even, I think, more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, unless we loan, which is what he suggested, if we're planning to buy someone permanently, we have to also make up room financially. So it is gonna happen. Like, no matter what happens, it's gonna happen.
All right, listen. Let me get through some of these comments. So Nahad says bring back Emmanuel Adebayor.
Sure.
Crazy times, man. Crazy times. Shah said, realistically, I think they'll buy Dusan Vlahovic or maybe Douglas Luiz or Zubamendi or Yusuf Fofana. Listen, Zubamendi, I'm here for it. I'm there for it. But apparently he doesn't want to leave Spain. Apparently he doesn't want to leave Spain, bro. Apparently
he will probably go to Barca.
Exactly.
They'll probably buy him with food stamps and miles they have on their card, you know?
Bro, you're laughing. That's the truth, bro. Nihad, Timo Werner, what's this?
Who?
What drugs are you taking, my brother? Because they are
Who?
on some next
No
level.
more Chelsea rejects, please. Enough is enough.
Bro,
With this
please.
Chelsea.
Let United buy him. Let United buy him.
Can I ask you guys something now? Because I see someone that Chelsea have put up that they're willing to let go, and I know no Chelsea rejects, but would you lot take Madueke as a backup to Saka?
No.
Oh,
As a Dutch person who saw him at PSV, no. God, no.
Okay.
He's really overrated.
Hey, T's a gangster. That's a God no. God no. I don't want to.
Nah, he's really one-dimensional. He wants to be Arjen Robben, but he will never be Arjen Robben. He will never sniff Arjen Robben.
Shaw says Frankie De Jong and Osimhen in January will be there. Yeah.
We win Osimhen and Frankie
win the
De Jong
league.
in January. We win the Champions League and the league, bro. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen, but
bro, I think we get that duo there. I think
We do the treble.
we should if we don't win those competitions, if we don't win the Premier League, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
and you add Mbappe as well. There we win the World Cup too, bro.
Okay,
We win
yeah,
the
you
World
know
Cup,
what,
I'm telling you.
bro, it takes me back, bro. Arsenal win the World Cup, bro. Do you not remember that? Fuck
You know, to that Martinelli and Mbappe question as well, I would say yes, because I see Mbappe as the B-Tech Henry, and I would love him at our club and wear the number 14.
Oh,
Honestly, guys, I think when he retires, he'll be way ahead of Andre.
What's Shaw
Really?
By the
smoking?
time he retires.
wow. Hold on, I have to
What's Shaw
process that
smoking?
for a second. I don't know what Shaw's smoking, bro. Man said back up for Fabio Vieira.
Oh,
Bro, back up Fabio
Musiala.
Vieira is crazy.
Musiala, imagine.
And he said, "Did you guys see the Nketiah 3-2 chance
Yeah.
against Brentford when he decided this guy's a bozo?
I was screaming, bro.
He's a bozo. That's the simple fact of it. He is a bozo." And Shah just saying, "Get his brother in until Julian's fit." Yeah, such a show, man. He said, "Honestly, if we put the right money on the table, I think we can get Frankie De Jong, who I think is world class." It depends, man. It depends.
Barca not letting him go, man.
Frankie would
He
be a
won't-
dream.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a dream signing, bro. That's who you want to get. And Esau coming in with some a mad one. She said, "Bro, Rice is not an elite 8. He's average. I swear we are forcing this narrative." Nah, I think the way he drives the ball is very, bro. He drives the ball well.
No, but
into the attack.
Elite midfielder, bro.
So I agree and disagree with her. I agree he's not an elite 8. Yes, he's a decent 8, but he's not
Yeah.
an average 8. Like that's also nonsense. He's not an average 8 either. But he's not an elite 8. I agree.
Average
Elite
is a
8
bit
for me is
harsh.
Gundogan. Yeah, average is crazy.
Oh,
Elite 8 is Gundogan. That's an elite 8. Like Gundogan, like even Frankie De Jong, he can play literally 8, 6, and 10.
the contract. I still think to this day about the contract we offered Gundogan.
Ah, yeah.
Declined, man.
He was
He
always
was
Sad
never
good.
going to come. Yeah,
Sad
I don't think he was
times.
gonna come.
Sad times.
When Barca or
man.
Madrid
Sad
come
times.
knocking, it's done.
He would have been that perfect signing we needed in that summer too. For our midfield,
Nah.
man.
Listen, I don't agree. I'm the same, man. I don't think he's average. I think he's a decent 8. Not elite, of course. Elite is a whole different level. Elite is being able to play that position and go forward and just do wonders. Do you know what I mean? Properly breaking the lines and being able to defend as well, and just the overall role.
To defend him on that though, you say that, but like what we've seen this season, he's been quite decent in the 8, like quite good, and it's the only time he's ever played in the 8.
That's what I'm saying.
So if you give him time in a good team, how do you know he won't by the end of the season be an elite 8? Xhaka weren't elite, and then by that last season, people were talking about him being, well, not elite, might be a push, but top draw. So I think Rice. Listen, Rice is so good, bro. Like, I'm a bias towards Rice now. I'm a Rice guy, so I think you can
bro.
play anywhere.
When are we making a song for Declan Rice? That's what I need to know.
Right.
That's what I need to know. I'm gonna sing it in the Emirates. Shah said Luiz did a Beckham-esque pass against Tottenham. I also think that Luiz has transformed into more of an 8 with Emery at Villa.
That's why he's getting goals.
Forward. Yeah, he gets forward a lot and also tracks back and defends well, attacks well.
Yeah.
I
team.
don't mind. I've never been against Luiz, man. I'll get Luiz. I don't even care, bro. I don't even care. Just bring somebody in. Somebody that can do the job for me.
And he's Prem ready.
Because the
And
thing
hey,
is,
all our
is just
Brazilians
ready.
have. Yeah, T doesn't like him. He doesn't
No.
like him.
Bro, I'm used to Vieira and that kind of players. You know, I don't want so players. I want big players. Give me Barella.
To be fair,
Give me an out and out 8, a box to box beast. Oh, he can long pass this, long pass that. Havertz is good off the ball. He can track well. Okay, I understand, but I want that elite number 8. I want that beast in number 8. You know.
So to be fair, all our Brazilian internationals have done well so far for us. Like Gabriel, Martinelli, and Jesus. Gabriel. So they've all done well. I think Douglas Luiz could also fit in well there.
Fair enough.
And then just last one, Anissa comes again. She said, "Big no." That was to Emma Smith-Rowe selling him. Nah. See, it's not just me and T, bro, that are just protecting this player, bro. There's a if you put that question on Twitter, I guarantee you get more no's than yeses. But anyway, that's just me. Anyway, let's move on to the final topic, which is the game against Lens, which I will be at. Oh my god, I'm gassed. I'm actually gassed, bro. It's the first Champions League game that I'm going to since 5-2, 5-1 against Bayern Munich. So, you know,
don't cry, yeah.
So,
when you hear the song.
No, I'm gonna cry. Bro. Are you mad? Are you mad, bro? I'm tearing up, bro. As soon as I hear that song, bro, I'm tearing up, bro. I don't care, man. I'm gonna cry.
Okay, fair.
I'm gonna cry with pride and passion. Yeah, and anybody laughs at me, go do one, innit?
Bro, when you
But,
see the light show and that, bro, you're gonna be gassed.
Bro, listen, I'm ready for it, man. Champions League nights, I'm there, bro. I'm there. I just want to hear the songs, man. I just want to hear the songs. Please. That's it. That's all I want to hear.
For you guys, have you guys, you two, haven't been to an Arsenal match, have you, since like the Arteta era and stuff? Like, when you hear North London Forever in the stadium, it's beautiful,
It's fucking
man.
loud.
You want to know what my last game was? My
Go
last game was against Crystal Palace at home when Aubameyang and Özil played for us still, and we
When
lost that
Xhaka
game.
sent off, when
3-2.
Xhaka gave away the penalty.
I think so. Yeah, we lost that game. I was pissed. That was the last game I went to because I was one of those people that protested against the Kroenke, so I don't gave them my money, so I didn't go to games anymore. Basically,
Yeah, that was massive. That was massive when it was happening, man. But listen, getting into the game. What are your thoughts on this Lens game, man? It's important. It is important because it's for us. This could secure the top spot for us. We secure our spot, getting out the group, going top as well. So what are your thoughts going into this Lens game? I want payback from these sons of bitches.
I'm talking, yeah, bro. I'm talking. Listen, T, you're from the land, yeah. You're from the land. We have to bill them up, yeah. We have to smoke them, bro. We have to smoke them. I don't want no close game. I want straight 4-0 settings. Listen, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to Amsterdam. Yeah, I want less smoke in Amsterdam than I want tomorrow night, bro. Yeah, how about that? That's how much smoke. I honestly, the way that we lost to them as well. Yeah, and it was our first loss of the season. Was it the first? Was that before the West Ham game? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was our first loss of the season.
That was the first loss.
It was our first loss of the season. It was just a jarring one, and they pissed me off, man. I don't know why they pissed me off. They ruined my record. I wanted us to go unbeaten, fully beaten every team in the group stage. They ruined that, and now I think we need to show teams that. And I want Arsenal to look at this, yeah, with a thing of we lost 2-1 to them, right? I want them to go into that and think, let's imagine that we were 2-1 down to these Dons in the knockout stage. Let's go and finish them off and go through. No 1-0, that ain't good enough. That's a draw. We need to win the game convincingly and by quite a few goals. I want us to be scoring 4 goals, man. I want 4 goals, man.
That would be great, bro. That would be great.
Yeah, you would love it.
Bro, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But listen, just quickly give my input. I think this is such an important game for us to go top. I think to finish them off. I want to finish these guys off. So the last game we can lose it, we can win it. No, whatever. Oh yeah. Pause. But listen, I want to make sure that that last game, I can play kids, man. Give the kids a running, man. You know what I mean? Let the kids play for a bit. Let them play. Let them get their Champions League. Because who knows, man? Somehow we win it. Who knows, bro? You know what I mean? I want them to get their medals as well. But yeah, listen, I just it's a big game for us. Big game. Because any Champions League game for me is big game, especially going into now. Now we're going to be going into the round of 16 and we're going to be going to the knockout stages. Goes to a whole next level. Obviously, I was there, I've been there, I've seen it anyway. But for people who haven't seen it, they might not realize how much the level goes up when you go into the group stages and the knockout stages, the quarters, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm hopefully we can win. Hopefully we can get a score. We need to go with the same starting 11 that we did. The same starting 11 that we did against Brentford, because I want to see that again. I want to see the creativity. I feel like Trossard comes alive when he's in these European nights. It's like he made for it. Same with Martinelli. Martinelli comes alive when he's during European nights. So yeah, I'm gassed and I'm ready. I want to see them go out there and put a performance out for us. because the performance on the weekend, as great as the win was, it wasn't a great performance for us as viewers of the game. Ashraf, T, who's spoken? Who hasn't?
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with Giuseppe. I want us to go there and do something to them, bro. Like just go from the beginning to the end, high octane football. The way we started against Sevilla, this time I want us to convert our chances. Like as Giuseppe said, like we need to come into that game with like a lot of pride, like an ego. We lost that first game 2-1. The way their fans were celebrating, the way their team was celebrating and singing it in the locker room and stuff. Look, obviously it's their right. I mean, it's their first Champions League game. I don't know since when. And they played against a big team, the favorites to top the group, and they beat them. So of course it's a big result for them. But we need to humble them back, bro. And it's just about us getting that GA, getting Gabriel Jesus and all these guys to score. Every player who's low in confidence needs to get like 1 or 2 goals. I agree with you. I would start the exact same lineup that started against Brentford. Because I want us to play an all-attacking lineup. I don't want us to go play defensive. So I don't want to see Jorginho and Rice start that game. I think that same midfield of Rice, Odegaard, and Trossard is good enough. Trossard has been doing well in the Champions League this season against PSV and against Sevilla. He's had good games and scored in both. So yeah, it's a big game. We win this game, as you said, Saad. We confirm not only qualification but topping the Group 2, and we can end up playing our youngsters against PSV away from home, which should be a very exciting game for them to play as well. And yeah, look, these nights are obviously quite important. And the only thing I'm concerned about, right, about playing that same lineup is I said obviously in your previous video that I want us to also play that same lineup against Wolves. And I just don't know if Arteta would play that exact same lineup 3 games in a row in a matter of like 7 or 8 days.
Yeah.
But if he can keep those same guys fit and maybe just rotate 1 or 2 players, I wouldn't mind that. But we have to go smash them, bro. Honestly, anything less than like a 3-goal win, I'd be like disappointed. I'm not even joking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I echo these guys. I hope we destroy them. I hope we let them know this is England and not France. Shout out to Wahi though. He's my guy. I love that player. He's really good. But yeah, he's a good striker. I heard that Chelsea want him, but I hope he doesn't go. But hey, Arsenal, I hope we destroy them. I hope Martinelli starts scoring again, because I want to see the scoring Martinelli again. I want at least 2. I want 2 goals from him this game. I expect 2 goals from him this game. I think Havertz will start. That's my only input about the lineup. I think Havertz will start over Trossard, because Arteta has he drops him really easily. First of all, and second of all, I think he will play Havertz because of the goal he scored last game. He thinks, okay, now he started, now let's see him on the pitch. So I think that's his mindset. And yeah, that's basically my only input.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he will start Havertz just because of that. You guys saw like when at the end of the Brentford game, the way he was hugging him and taking him to the fans and pointing at him. Yeah. You could tell he really, really wants Havertz to work. And it goes back to what it goes back to one of you guys said earlier. Like it is Arteta signing. Like Sad, I think you said that. Our Havertz is signing, and he definitely wants him to work.
Look, I would actually choose to start Havertz. Personally, I am a believer of rewarding players that have done big deeds for you, and I think he got us out of jail in the Brentford game, so I think therefore he deserves to start the next game.
Over Trossard or Jesus?
I would start him over Jesus, because I think Jesus is just coming back from an injury and stuff, so I'd give him the less game time in the week so he can start against Wolves. And for me, with Havertz, I think with any player, they've like that confidence has been so low. They've got that goal. What else better than to put them straight back on the pitch, try and do something? Champions League, Lens at home. There'll be chances. There'll be opportunities. And at the end of the day, like when you said about Arteta loves him, and 100% you can see it. But do you know the one thing I have to say? Like I do like to back up my players. I know it's hard because sometimes it's like sounds like I think everything I am saying, but I'm a devil's advocate. But we don't see what he does in training. We don't know how hard he's working to improve and to get better. Arteta sees that. The players see that. And it's not only Arteta that shows him so much love. I'm seeing all the other players. Declan Rice putting up posts, other players, like they all seem to love this guy. So,
They support him a lot.
but so there must be a reason.
even
He
Granit
must work,
Xhaka commented on the thing.
you know.
Wow.
So it's like he must do something right in training and stuff. So I think for me, I do think he deserves to start the game. But then I do think Trossard deserves to start the game because of how he's been in the Champions League. So for me, it's Jesus that I would drop to start the game. It's not at the end of the day, it's Lens, right? We're pretty safe. It's at home. I believe we can win the game even with 3 or 4 changes in the team. So that's fine. I think Jesus starting is more important for the Wolves game in the league than the Lens game. So I would do that personally.
I definitely agree with you that he should be resting Jesus, but I don't think he will. You know why? Because he has been our best player in the Champions League this season. Scored against Lens, even though we lost that game. Incredible away against Sevilla. Scored and assisted both our goals. Was incredible against PSV at home. So I think because he's our most informed player in the Champions League, he might end up starting him. But I do agree with you. Like, I would rather rest him and for the Wolves game for sure.
Would you guys rest Saliba as well if you were Arteta?
Against Wolves, not against Lens, no.
Not against anyone.
Okay. Fair.
I agree against Wolves. You can rest him, but not against. We need to win the game. We need to win the game. I don't want to take no chances in the Champions League. None at all. All. It's straight. First team only in the Champions League, unless we've done something like what we're gonna hopefully do tomorrow, which is already win and be secured for top spot in this group stage.
By the way, guys, if we top the Champions League group, if you look at all the other groups, except for the group of death, the PSG, Dortmund, Newcastle stuff, every other team that's bound to finish second in their group are teams that we can beat. Like, I don't look at any of these teams and I'm like, oh shit, that team is scary. Like, we definitely cannot beat them. Because Real Madrid would have been a team I was scared of, but Real Madrid are clearly topping the group. Napoli obviously is dangerous, but I think we can beat Napoli.
No, listen, 100%. And before we end off, I just want to get your guys' score predictions for the game tomorrow. We'll start off with Ashraf.
Score prediction, I'm gonna say 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah. I see that happening. I'm not even actually being hopeful. I actually think this could happen.
No, fair enough. Giuseppe?
I was going to say 4-0, and I thought I was going over the top saying 4-0, but then you said 5-0, so I'm more confident saying 4-0. No, I don't think we'll concede again. I think people will think they're as good as they were at home. They won't be away. As you said, that was their first home game in the Champions League ever. So their fans were up for it. The team was up for it. I don't think they're going to find that energy at the Emirates. So I think it will be fairly straightforward for us. Like, every time we've played anyone at the Emirates in the Champions League, we've battered them. PSV, we battered them 5-0. Battered Sevilla. Like, maybe not on the scoreline as much, but when you watched it, I was there. I watched it. We fucking destroyed them. Like, watching it from in the stadium, it's like we didn't have the ball. They never had the ball. Like, I was watching it like we had the ball the whole game. So I think we'll run through them 4-0.
Dortmund are up, by the way, guys.
1-0.
Giroud
missed the penalty.
Yeah, penalty.
Giroud missed the penalty for Milan.
In
literally the 6th minute.
I'm gonna go with 3-0. I'm gonna go with 3-0.
The score is going down 5-4, 3.
No, I'm listen. If I believe we're gonna beat a team and smack them, I'll say it. But if I think it's gonna be 3-0. I think we might get 3-0. But anything more than that, bro, I'm dancing. I'm happy. I'm laughing. T.
3-1. I think we will concede 1.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be annoyed if we concede. I really hope we don't.
If we concede, that's going to be a piss take.
You know why I say that as well? Normally, when I say we get a clean sheet, we concede. So when I say we concede, we normally get clean sheets. So I hope we get a clean sheet.
I like that.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me today on the Gooner Lounge. Another successful episode. Guys, in the description, we always say it. We'll say it again for everybody here. in the description, all of their links, man. All of their links to their channels. Get at them. Make sure to subscribe to them. So I've done the Rashford celebration. It's crazy. I can't do that too much, bro. If I do that,
that's the Kai Havertz celebration now.
Bro, I get clipped up when I do that, bro. I get clipped up last time when I did that. Oh, this guy bases his whole personality around Rashford. But yeah, listen, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much for tuning in with us on another episode of the Gooner Lounge. We'll see you later.